What if I told you the ball drop in Times Square is just a tiny, sparkling blip in the grand history of New Year's Eve? We all know the drill, the countdown, the cheers, the fireworks. But have you ever stopped to wonder why? Why this specific night? What did people do to mark the end of one year and the start of another, before giant glowing spheres and televised parties? Let's peel back the layers of confetti and glitter to uncover the ancient roots of this global celebration. This isn't just a story about a single date on a calendar. It's a journey into a fundamental human need, the need for renewal, for a fresh start, a clean slate. Long before we were watching a clock, cultures all over the world were finding their own incredible ways to say goodbye to the old and hello to the new. From blazing bonfires to solemn rituals, the ways our ancestors marked this passage of time are more diverse and fascinating than you could ever imagine. So, where did it all begin? Let's travel back in time, about 4,000 years, to ancient Babylon. The Babylonians didn't celebrate on December 31st. Their New Year, a festival called Akitu, kicked off with the first new moon after the spring equinox. This wasn't just a one-night party. It was an epic 11-day festival. Imagine this. Massive parades snake through the city streets. Statues of gods are carried in procession. Elaborate rituals are performed to cleanse the world and reaffirm the divine order. For them, the new year was tied directly to the rebirth of the natural world, the planting of new crops, the return of life after winter. It was a deeply religious and agricultural event. The king would undergo a ritual of humiliation, being stripped of his regalia, to show his submission to the gods, only to be reinstated, symbolizing a fresh start for the entire kingdom. It was a powerful drama of renewal, chaos, and ultimate restoration, setting the stage for a prosperous year ahead. Now, let's jump over to ancient Rome. The Romans initially had a 10-month calendar, and the new year started in March, which makes sense when you think about it: spring, new beginnings. But then, a king named Numa Pompilius added 2 new months, January and February. January was named after Janus, the two-faced god. This is where things get really interesting. Janus was the god of beginnings, endings, doorways, and transitions. He literally looked both backward into the old year and forward into the new. It's the perfect symbol for New Year's Eve. The Romans would celebrate by offering sacrifices to Janus, decorating their homes with laurel branches, and exchanging good wishes and gifts, often sweet figs and honey, to ensure the new year would be filled with sweetness. It was a time for reflection and looking ahead, a concept that feels very familiar to us today. Not every culture celebrated with such structured festivities. The Celts and other Northern European peoples had their own powerful traditions, deeply connected to the darker, colder part of the year. For them, the end of the year was marked by Samhain, a festival that later evolved into Halloween. It was seen as a time when the veil between our world and the spirit world was at its thinnest. This wasn't necessarily about partying. It was a more mystical and solemn occasion. People would light huge bonfires, known as bonfires, to ward off evil spirits and to honor the dead. They believed these fires had protective and cleansing powers, helping to light the way through the dark winter and ensure the sun's return. This idea of using fire to purify and protect is a common thread we see in many ancient Endovia traditions around the world. It's a powerful symbol of burning away the old and making space for the new. So, as you can see, long before the ball drop, our ancestors were obsessed with the same ideas we are today: closure, hope, and the promise of a fresh start. From the agricultural rebirth in Babylon to the reflective spirit of Roman Janus and the cleansing fires of the Celts, the desire to mark the passage of time is a deeply human instinct. These ancient celebrations were a way to make sense of the world, to find order in the chaos of nature's cycles, and to come together as a community to face the future with optimism. Time you're counting down those final seconds of the year, remember that you're part of a tradition that stretches back thousands of years, connecting us all in a shared hope for a better tomorrow. It's more than just a party. It's a timeless human ritual. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories behind our traditions. Happy New Year!